Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Halo Forge Epidemic. I'm Oakley HiDef, and today we're going to be covering how to make forested terrain. So I've seen a lot of you guys do this, and that's when you place your trees. You kind of just place them out here. It looks really unnatural to me. I don't know why 343 gave us such tall trees, but it looks really unnatural to have trees that tall. So what I would recommend doing is, bury them down into the ground, bring them down to a height just like this. It looks a lot more natural, and it brings the foliage down. Now, it might get in the way of your playing, but I think it looks better. But as you can see here, it does have the problem that when you guys build forests like that with just trees, it really doesn't give the impression of depth. So what I'm going to be going over in this video is how do you make your forest more believable? How do you make the best use of the resources here on Forge Island? So as you can see right here, I'm not actually building the forest. What I'm going to start out with is rocks. Now the rocks are great. What you want to do is actually provide height variation on your map. Even if it's just a little bit, it'll keep you from seeing the end of the island and the water, which makes it seem like your map could potentially go on further. Next, to create a little bit of depth of field, go ahead and bury some trees behind that line of rocks to make it seem like there's a lot more out there. And as you can see, because the player can't see what's past that line of sight blocker, it makes it seem like your map might be endless. So that's what you want to do, is give the impression that you have a larger map. Then go ahead and intersperse some trees. You can even put them down in the ground like this, put them into the rocks and make it look like bushes. I think that's a good technique. It makes it, it breaks up the line of sight a little bit more. You can see back there, I'm keeping the player from seeing past these trees in the rocks to make it seem obviously like a bigger forest. Also, for more depth of field, go ahead and place some some trees just in the background like this with their tips sticking out. It makes it seem like there's more trees off in the distance. So that, in combination with the trees in the foreground, just like this, is gonna make it seem like you have a big map, and there's a lot more to the map than there actually is. And also, you're gonna want to then go ahead and drop more in front here. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you, what it looks like behind. Obviously, this is supposed to be an area you wouldn't want to go, so I would, put a hard kill here or a soft kill. But anyway, once you have your line of rocks and the distant trees, you want to go ahead and populate your forest in the foreground. So again, drop them down to a reasonable height, intersperse them relatively close, not too close I would say, and then between the trees, leave areas that players can walk through, and then create natural paths. Once again, you want to make use of the rocks in here, break up the linearity and the flatness of this terrain, add more variation to it. It really makes your forest seem more dense. And you can see right here, because I can't see under the trees, it really makes it feel like it's a bigger forest. So again, place rocks here and there, make little parts of it stick out. Now I know naturally trees wouldn't grow on the rocks, but I think in this case it does look good, and I would say it is an exception to the aesthetics and the believability. I think it does look good to have these rocky patches in here, where the area between them would be these open paths, and go ahead and use the paths that are already etched into the terrain, with the sand texture there to make it even more believable. But anyways, this is how I would recommend making believable trees and forests, and it looks pretty good. And when you go down to player mode, you'll find that actually they did a good job of mapping out these rocks. There's an invisible layer over them, so even though it may look bumpy, you can walk over them and it's pretty flat. So anyways guys, if you have more tutorials you want me to do, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below and I'll get to that. I'm glad to restart this Forge tutorial series. It feels good to Forge, and I love all we can do with the maps. So I'll see you guys out there. Peace out.